The glass slipped from my hand before I even knew I was falling. The world spun sideways, the lights turned liquid, and my heartbeat thundered in my ears like an alarm. Someone had spiked my drink. I remember the taste of champagne, bitter, metallic, and then the sound of laughter dissolving into a slow-motion hum. My knees buckled. Before I hit the marble floor, a hand caught my arm. "Easy there, sweetheart," Rick murmured. His smile didn't reach his eyes. "I'm fine," I tried to say, but my tongue wouldn't cooperate. "You've had too much," he said, his grip tightening. But I hadn't. I'd barely taken a sip. He started steering me away from the ballroom toward the side exit where the light was dimmer. Faces blurred, music slowed. No one noticed. Or maybe they chose not to. Then a voice cut through the haze, cold, steady, lethal. "You've got 3 seconds to explain what you just did." Everything stopped. Rick froze. The crowd parted, like air leaving the room. The man standing at the edge of the bar wasn't someone you could ignore. Broad shoulders, black suit, storm gray eyes that didn't blink. Rick stammered. "This is my date. She's drunk." "1," the man said, stepping closer. Rick's face drained of color. "2, look, I don't want any trouble." 3. The next sound was the crack of bone meeting fist. Rick hit the floor, blood blooming on marble. The stranger moved faster than thought. Before I could collapse beside them, strong arms caught me, and just like that, everything went black. When I opened my eyes, sunlight was slicing through glass walls. The sheets beneath me felt too soft, the air too still. This wasn't my apartment. A low voice broke the silence. "You're safe. Drink." He was sitting in an armchair near the bed, the same storm-eyed man from the gala. His presence filled the room. "Where am I?" "In my penthouse," he said simply. "You've been asleep 14 hours. The doctor said you'd be fine." "You undressed me?" He shook his head. "Elena did. She's worked for me 20 years. Your clothes are being cleaned." Something in his calm tone made me believe him. "Why?" I asked finally. "Because someone tried to drug you under my roof," he said. "That doesn't happen without consequences," and for the first time I realized who he must be. "Your family owns the hotel," I whispered. "You're Marco Valenti." He inclined his head. "My family hosts the gala every year, which means anyone who thought they could hurt a guest did so with permission. I intend to find out who gave it." I should have been afraid. Every newspaper in Chicago called the Valentis a dynasty with shadows attached. But instead of fear, I felt something else. A strange, quiet safety. "Why help me?" I asked. His answer was simple. "Because justice isn't optional in my house." By nightfall, Rick Henderson and 6 others were missing. Bartender, valet, security guard, all gone like ghosts erased from the city. And the terrifying thing, I wasn't horrified. I was relieved. When Marco returned that evening, I was sitting by the window, wrapped in his blanket, staring at the skyline. "They won't touch you again," he said. "What did you do?" "I handled it." I looked at him for a long time. "You can't just make people disappear." His expression didn't change. "I can. And I did. But I don't hurt the innocent." My breath caught. "Then why am I still here?" He hesitated. "Because you're not safe yet." The days blurred together after that. I should have left, but every time I tried, something stopped me. The security detail outside my door, or the way his eyes softened when he looked at me. Then one evening I found him pacing his study, jaw tight. "What happened?" I asked. "Your boss, James Hoffman," he said. "He met with Rick 3 days before the gala." My stomach turned. "Why?" "He owes money," Marco said. "He sold your name to the people who wanted access to our foundation's records." I felt sick. "They thought I had the data?" "They thought they could use you to get it," Marco said. "Rick was meant to take you somewhere private and persuade you." Persuade. I hated that word. I whispered. "So this wasn't random?" "No," he said. "It was business. But now it's personal." I looked up at him, realizing he wasn't just protecting me out of duty anymore. "Let me call the police," I said. They'd bury it, he replied. This way, there will be consequences. Later that night, my phone rang. Unknown number. Sarah, said the voice I knew too well. James. You need to listen to me. They'll kill me if... Marco took the phone. James Hoffman, you're done. Leave the city or you disappear next. He hung up before James could reply. That was reckless, I said. He smiled faintly. That was necessary. Do you always decide who deserves to live or die? I decide who gets to keep hurting people, he said quietly. It's not the same thing. I wanted to argue, but the truth was, I didn't want him to stop. Sometimes the only way to protect the light is to become its shadow. Weeks passed. I moved into his penthouse for safety, though we both knew that wasn't the whole truth. At night, we'd talk over coffee, our conversations stretching till dawn. I learned that his mother died when he was 12, that he built an empire to make sure no one could control him again. He learned that I volunteered at a shelter, that I believed kindness could change people. You still do, he said once, even after everything. Maybe that's why I scare you, I teased. He didn't deny it. Then one morning, I woke to find him gone and headlines screaming, 7 arrested in citywide crackdown, sources linked to Valenti operations. My heart dropped. When he came home that night, I confronted him. You did this? I warned them, he said. They ignored me. Marco, you can't run the city like it's your chessboard. He took a step closer, his voice low. Then maybe you shouldn't have walked into the game. I stared at him. You think saving me gives you the right to own me? I don't own you, he said, but I'll protect you whether you like it or not. And that was when I realized he wasn't asking for permission. He was asking for trust. The weeks that followed were strange, part danger, part comfort. He'd vanish for days, then return with bruised knuckles and tired eyes. I'd scold him, patch him up, and pretend I wasn't terrified. One night I asked, "Why do you keep doing this?" He looked at me like the answer was obvious. Because you make me want to be better. Better? He nodded. You make me remember I still have something worth losing. And that's when I kissed him. Love didn't happen all at once. It happened in quiet moments. His hand brushing mine, his laughter breaking through the dark, the way he said my name like it meant safety. But safety doesn't last forever. 6 months later, a blonde woman showed up at our building claiming she was pregnant with his child. I remember the room spinning, the security footage playing, the cash exchange caught on tape. Marco turned to me, fury in his eyes. It's a setup. She was paid by my rivals. Do you expect me to believe that? He held my gaze. I expect you to know me, and I did. Then we'll handle it together, I said. We confronted the woman, young, scared, crying. They said they'd hurt my baby if I didn't do it, she confessed. I took her hands. You're not our enemy. Marco nodded. You'll disappear tonight. New city. New name. My men will help you. The woman sobbed with relief. Mercy isn't weakness. It's proof you survived without turning cruel. The next morning, every business tied to Marco's rivals collapsed under federal audit. No blood, no noise, just precision. By nightfall, Chicago knew one truth. No one touched the Valentis or the woman he loved. Months later, on a balcony above the city lights, he knelt and opened a small box. Marry me, he said simply. Not because I saved you, but because you saved me. Tears blurred my vision. Marco, this world, I'll burn it down before I let it touch you. I laughed through the tears. That's not romantic. It's honest. And maybe honesty was enough. When I said yes, the world didn't explode. It just quieted. Now when people whisper my name, they don't say victim. They say, the woman who made the Valenti untouchable. I used to think freedom meant walking away. Now I know it means standing your ground beside someone dangerous and choosing love anyway. So if you're listening to this and wondering if you can survive what broke you, yes, you can. And sometimes the darkness that tried to swallow you ends up guarding your light. That's what Marco taught me. If this story moved you, like the video, share it, and subscribe to Winds of Thought. Because sometimes survival isn't the end of the story, it's where love begins.